Welcome back to this special episode of INC News World as we commemorate the Church of Christ's 108th anniversary. From Inspirational Youth, we take a closer look at another set of noteworthy individuals with Naomi De La Cruz.
Thank you, Brother Michael, and happy anniversary. From the true faith reaching more parts of the world to the church's exponential growth, resulting in hundreds of houses of worship being dedicated to God each year, and with members continuing to unite in the many socio-civic activities in different countries, extending help to our fellow men. For 108 years, God has granted success after success to the Church of Christ, and even to its individual members. As we go into this next part of our special episode, we'll witness the extraordinary feats of some athletes while recognizing where their success truly comes from. Heading to the Philippines, let's meet a man who at first saw martial arts as a simple way of defending himself, but soon after found himself achieving success in a highly competitive sport.
Noong mga panahon po na ako'y nagtataekwondo, hindi ko naman po naisip na ako po ay mapapasali sa mga ganito kalalaking competition. Ang talagang pinagbubuti ko lamang po noon ay ang pag-aaral ng taekwondo para maidepensa ko ang aking sarili dahil nga ito ay tinatawag na self-defense. Pero dahil sa mga competition na aking sinasalihan, ayun, hindi ko alam na pataas ng pataas pala yung mga antas ng mga competition na aking sinasalihan dahil ako ay pinapalad na nananalo po. Ang pangalan po ng competition na sinalihan ko ay 2022 World Pumse Championship. Sumali po ako sa under 50 category sa individual event. At sa awa at tulong ng Diyos po ay tayo po ang nanalo sa 64 participating countries all over the world po.
필리핀, Ernesto Guzman.
First place, Philippines, Ernesto Guzman.
In winning the gold and representing the Philippines in Pumse Taekwondo, it was a dream come true for Ernesto. But the journey to Goyang wasn't an easy one. The need for preparation through training would become a challenge as the threat of COVID still remained.
Hindi ka makalabas, limited yung mga pwede mong puntahan para mapalakas ang iyong katawan. Kaalinsabay po noon ng ginagawa kong pag-iensayo ay ang pagpapanata rin po.
Challenging even the most vital part of Ernesto's faith. Conflicts with the worship service due to training schedules arose. But for Ernesto, his priority has always been the same, since competing as a Taekwondo athlete.
Dati ko nang sinasabi sa mga coaches ko na hindi ako pwede sa mga ganitong araw kapag may mga pagsamba. Dahil bilang isang Iglesia ni Cristo, ang pangunahin po sa akin ay ang pagsamba po. Pero bilang isang manlalaro at saka isang mananampalataya, sabi ko sa sarili ko na walang imposible sa Diyos. Basta tuloy-tuloy lang yung pagtitiwala sa Kanya, gawin ko yung bahagi ko, mag-ensayo ako, gawin ko rin yung bahagi ko na magpanata, Diyos na ang bahalang magbigay po ng tagumpay.
And with the blessing of winning in Goyang, Ernesto was recognized once again, this time by the executive minister of the Church of Christ, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, leaving Ernesto feeling grateful.
Binabasa po sa akin yung liham ng kapatid na Eduardo V. Manalo. Yun po yung pinaka-best award na natanggap ko sa tanang buhay ko po, na ako po ay maalala ng kapatid na Eduardo V. Manalo. Kaya nung binabasa po yung award na yun, talagang tumatayo po yung balahibo ko. Iba yung pakiramdam ng na-awardan po ako sa podium bilang isang atleta, at iba rin po yung pakiramdam po nung ibinabasa po sa akin ng ka-Elmer po ang pagbati ng kapatid ni Eduardo V. Manalo. Kaya po ako naging 6 times world champion, gagaya po ng lagi ko pong binabanggit, ay dahil sa awa at tulong lamang po sa akin ng Diyos. Ginagawa ko lamang po yung aking bahagi bilang isang atleta, pero laging nasa isip ko po na ang pagkapanalo ay hindi lamang nagmumula po sa aking sariling kakayahan, kundi sa kakayahan po ng lumikha po sa atin. Ang patuloy ko pong hinihiling at ipinagpapasalamat kapag ako po ay nananalangin ay unang-una sa lahat ay yung manatili po ang aking kahalalan sa loob ng iglesia na kahit anuman ang mangyari at kung maaari talaga ay dito na po abutan ng aking kamatayan sa loob po ng Iglesia ni Cristo.
So inspiring, such control in his craft and the ultimate demeanor of faith. Up next, since her youth, our next individual has aspired for excellence, whether in academics or on the track. But what set her apart from others was what she prioritized above it all.
Steady, go!
For her accomplishments in 2001, she was named by the Burlington County Times the first team all-county track team and was named as the Burlington County Times Female Track Athlete of the Year. Natasha set and still holds school records in 100 hurdles, 400 hurdles, and long jump.
Being valedictorian. Being able to graduate at the top of my class, and I was able to also be a top student athlete in the region, in the state. Different colleges sending coaches to watch me at track meets.
Congratulations, Natasha Marshall, Esquire.
Being acknowledged for the Hall of Fame, having had the potential to take a different path in life, one that was very, like track oriented. I'm going to make it to the Olympics. I'm going to do all these great things in the world.
Indeed, Natasha had great things ahead of her. On track to train with one of the best schools in the U.S., at Olympic caliber, a promising professional career, and yet her heart wanted something even more than her love for running. When she began running at Princeton, challenges arose and also tending to her aspiration to become a choir member and organist.
Track really took up a lot of my time, like 2 or 3 hours a day, but I wasn't having enough time to also I wanted to become a choir member. I was able to make it to choir practices, but I really couldn't do both track and choir. And also at the time, our congregation needed an organist. And I really felt like I wanted to help the church out more. And so I felt that it was only right for me to choose him. So rather than pursue a track career, I decided to pursue becoming an organist.
The strong discipline she had for running magnified her desire to become an organist more. While continuing her studies at Princeton University, even the time that would have been used for training in running would be used to train and develop a closer relationship with God through her duty.
Every time I sang in the worship services, I could feel God so close to me. And with God's help, I was able to also continue in my studies at Princeton to graduate. And that just being able to become an organist, I felt like at the end of the day, I had made the right choice, and the rest of my life has been guided by making that choice there. God has a plan, and it's bigger than anything we could dream of.
And further down the road, amazing blessings arrive for Natasha to enjoy and see the reward in choosing God first. Becoming a choir member and numerous opportunities in her life, and most importantly, becoming a choir mentor, overseeing and leading choir members in the Church of Christ and singing hymns of praise to God. But one unexpected experience for her would be to run again at one of the biggest stages in the world.
Being able to run track at the Unity Games in the Philippine arena was an amazing life experience. Thinking back to when I first gave up track, I would have never even imagined that one day I'd get to go to the Philippines, meet brethren from all over the world, and then just be able to run for the church.
After winning gold in numerous track events and feeling the rush of running again, another life-changing moment within the same year would come. While receiving an award through an INC photo contest held throughout the world, her photo was selected as a finalist, And upon meeting the executive minister, it was through this instance she was reminded of the care and concern he has for Church of Christ members throughout the world.
I started crying, and I feel like Brother Eduardo, he does his best to connect with all the brethren.
A connection that Church of Christ members like Natasha feel towards their leaders because of their true faith, that God has an appointed leader, and the results of such dynamic leadership are seen through the executive minister in the Church of Christ.
God is the one just guiding him, working through him, working in him so that he can take care of the entirety of the church.
And the constant reassurance of Natasha that no sacrifice can compare to the results she has seen in her life by always choosing God first.
I made sacrifices along the way, but I see the results in my life. I see how he's guided me. I wouldn't give that up for the world because I chose him. I put him first. And I feel like that's something that every day I'm just really thankful for.
The discipline in all aspects of their lives as athletes is truly commendable. And when it came to their duties in the Church of Christ, they proved that with dedication, they could be triumphant in their aspirations. Back to you, Brother Michael.
Thank you, Naomi. Coming up when INC News World returns. Faced with their own personal challenges, we learn who these individuals were able to turn to when they needed help the most. Find out when INC News World continues.